Tampa Bay's having a really wretched season. A lot of injuries to the pitching staff. The Rays have 5 starting pitchers on the DL, a couple of them season-ending elbow surgeries. Wander Franco, the all-star shortstop, he is still in limbo. Commissioner's office yesterday extended his name on the commissioner's exempt list through the middle of July. He was the one who was under investigation, has been charged with having a, quote, relationship with a young girl, quote, age 14, paying the mother, bribing the mother to allow the relationship to happen. Since then, 2 other teenagers underage have surfaced in the Caribbean, said, yeah, I had a relationship with him too. Wander Franco's in big trouble. Baseball removed him in August, would not let him come to spring training, still removed. They extended this thing till mid-July. He's going back into court sometime here in the next week and a half in the Caribbean. I think it's in Dominican Republic. And we'll see if they actually, and he has to enter a plea or whether or not they just carry this forward and have a trial. I don't think he's going to play baseball for a period of time. So that's a big issue there. New York Mets. I don't know if you caught any of this. Their relief pitcher, Jorge Lopez, had a meltdown on the field. He was arguing with umpires. Now, he had a couple of good years in Baltimore, went to Minnesota, wound up with the Mets when he got let go, trying to recapture his stuff. Had really vibrant stuff when he first broke into the major leagues. Anyhow, he falls apart on the mound, gives up a home run, coming off the mound, gets into a heated argument with the umpire. Then he gets ejected, and then he rips his shirt, takes his glove, throws it into the stands, has a tirade in the dugout, goes into the clubhouse after the game. He's telling the media, this is the worst effing organization in Major League Baseball. I'm a bad teammate. Well, he said he was putting it on himself for being a bad teammate, but the only thing the New York media heard was this is a bad effing organization. Right. Well, the Mets are having a miserable season. So they DFA'd him at 11 o'clock that night after the incident at 10:30. Just out of here. Now we find out that he's got a young child who needs a transplant surgery. Mm-hmm. So he's mentally afraid about that. We find out that there's a bit of a mental health issue helped by meds, that he got off the meds, and so he's gone. The Mets, man, they hit the react button awful quick. Should they not help him a little bit more rather than tossing him out in the street because of this tantrum? Tantrum looked really bad. But at the end of the day, he's dealing with so much other stuff, aside from not being able to throw balls and strikes at this point, to what's going on with his family and how he's handling his own mental health. So I was a little bit surprised the Mets didn't solve that. The other sidebar story, the Mets just honored Darryl Strawberry over the weekend. They retired uniform number 18. And he gave a 19-minute speech at Citi Field to Mets fans. And he did a lot in his major league career. He had 335 career home runs, with a lot of controversy because of alcohol, substance abuse, drugs, etc. And he wound up moving around Major League Baseball. And he's had health problems more recently. But he opened his statement at home plate at Citi Field with an apology to all New York Met fans and to the organization. Said, I was not the best player I could have been. I was not the best person I should have been. And I really, really regret that. So that was kind of an interesting story. And then the other story, you and I have talked extensively, John, about injuries to pitchers. And it's another setback. Baltimore has lost John Means. He threw a no-hitter a couple of years ago. He's headed for his 3rd surgery, forearm elbow. Oh. And this was a no-hit pitcher who had lively stuff, and he has spent 2.5 years trying to get back. Got back, pitched 4 times, I think, for the Orioles this season, and they've shut him down again. They've also lost Tyler Wells, one of the relief pitchers. He's going to have elbow surgery. I think the Birds have had 5 different pitchers have forearm and elbow problems just this season alone. So, John, it's yours. The floor is yours to talk about the Tampa Bay shortstop, Jorge Lopez, and what's going on in Baltimore.
You know, I've just been hearing about the Jorge Lopez stuff peripherally, and it did sound like at least one of the announcers or sports columnists was talking about how English second language. And he said, I'm a terrible teammate, as opposed to saying this is a terrible team. I can see how that could happen, but it just seems like the Mets are trying to be this macho team. You know, you challenge us, call us crappy. Well, you're out of here. You know, to your point. Yeah. I mean, you got to work with this dude, but you know, clearly what he did was off the hook. I mean, throwing stuff into the stands and going on a tirade. So there's a lot going on there. Yeah. Some mental issues. I love, love, love the Mets story about Darryl Strawberry. And I'm so happy that he's recognized for the greatness that he had. And he also recognizes his deficiencies as a man and how he wants to be a better man. Love all of that. And yeah, more pitching injuries in baseball now with Baltimore.
We get to halftime.